Hey, Battalion Nation.
We have a live show on location.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
We're going to have trouble getting 2 points.
Brought to you by Sports Illustrated Tickets and Happy Dad Beverages. Hey, Battalion Nation, we are downtown North Bay at the Moose Cookhouse for episode 12 of the Troops Trio, and tonight is a special Christmas edition, and we have our guests, Kaden Pitre and Alexander Karmanov. Right now, we're going to head it off to your host, Matt Sookram.
Thank you, AJ, and hello to the Moose Cookhouse tonight. Troops Trio is also proudly sponsored by the City of North Bay, the Boat North Bay, the Clubhouse at Gateway Golf, the Fox and Fiddle, and the Moose Cookhouse, where we are live. We thank our hosts for not only sponsoring the show, but for letting us take over the place for a little while. I'm joined, as always, by my co-hosts Ranjan Rupal and Bob Coles, and Sarge apparently tonight as well. We want to thank the viewers for watching on the Battalion YouTube page, and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and share this with everyone you know. And we want to thank the listeners for tuning in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Like AJ said, we've got a big show tonight. We've got Kaden Pitre and Alexander Karmanov joining us. We'll hear from Ryan Olahan throughout the show. We got former North Bay Centennial Rob Davison joining the show a little bit later. He's now an associate coach of the Guelph Storm. Bob had a chance to catch up with Rob. And then we've also got our Troops Trio trivia question later on in the show. All right. That's enough for the introductions. Let's get into it. Bob, Ranj, the Battalion picked up 4 big points on the weekend. They got the overtime win over Brampton. They lost in regulation to Erie in the last minute or so of the game, and then they pounded on Niagara on Sunday. Let's first get your takeaways on the week overall.
I thought it was a good week. It could have gone the other way last Thursday. They were behind late in that game to Brampton. They rallied. They won it in overtime on a goal by Shamar Moses. And then a tough finish to the Erie game where, you're tied most of the game. You're down a goal with less than 2 minutes left, right? And that had to have an impact. And they lost that game with an empty netter, 3-1. But a great pushback, I thought, on Sunday. Battalion came ready to play against a big division rival in Niagara. Won it handily, 7-3. And the Troops, Ryan Olahan likes to say all the time, do you get points from the week? Positive points. They got 4 points, and another good week on the road. 3 straight weeks on the road, too, which has to really tire the team out, but a solid week.
I like taking points from Central Division rivals.
For sure.
And so you take 4 from Brampton and Niagara. Those are good points to get. So I like the way things are going. They're winning now, and I think it's setting the stage. We always say up until December. Just wait until December. We're in December. Just wait until Christmas. And then this team will have gelled. And I think we do have an identity now that when they want to outwork the other team, they can. And it doesn't matter where they are in the standings. Road game in Erie, that's tough. It's a long way. But I like what we're seeing. And that win over Niagara in St. Catharines, that was a statement win. And like I said at the beginning, division wins are important at the end of the season.
Yeah, they sure are. Remember a couple weeks ago when they took on Niagara, the Ice Dogs were first in the division, and the Battalion won that game, I believe, was 6-3, 6-2, that first win against Niagara. So, yeah, Central Division battles are always important, and always important to pick up those wins as well. So, Bob, you had a chance to catch up, as always, with head coach Ryan Olahan. He had some thoughts about the weekend overall as well. Producer Gerald, can we hear clip number 1, please?
Okay, our final before Christmas coffee with Coach with Battalion head coach Ryan Olahan. And Ryan, 3 straight weeks on the road. Everyone's probably happy to be back in North Bay, but a good week. I mean, I thought you played solid against Erie. They scored late, empty net goal, but a real great response on Sunday in St. Catharines against Niagara.
Yeah, it was once again, and yeah, 3 straight kind of weekends, we're just reflecting a little bit here downstairs as a coaching staff and talking about how everyone's sleeping here the last couple nights, because we're definitely catching up on some sleep. But nice to kind of get through that stretch here, and now we can see the light at the end of the tunnel and what we have in front of us. We can't get too far ahead. We got a big one here on Thursday before the break happens, but we're looking forward to kind of recovering and controlling a little bit more now that those bus trips are out of the way. And then as a whole, the weekend, me, when you get 2 out of 3 on a weekend, you're pretty pleased. And even the Erie game, we had a chance there to even try to steal a point. Erie played really well. I give them a lot of credit. I think they're a much better team than their record shows, and as of late, they play with a lot of speed, and they have a dangerous top line. And it was interesting to watch them play at home, because I was pretty impressed with the way they played. We had a chance right there at the end. They got a power play and made do on it, so credit to them. But awesome response by the guys the next day, and that's a tough one, because 2 o'clock start. We didn't get into St. Catharines until about 1 a.m., so you're not sure how much of a recovery we got, but kind of just went on emotion, went on fumes, and able to get the job done with a big victory on Sunday.
All right, so a really nice recap from head coach Ryan Olhan for the weekend overall. So I felt the win against Brampton in overtime. Like you said, Bob, they had to come back in that game to win it in overtime. Get the weekend started off the right foot. The fans at Memorial Gardens were going crazy. Sarge was obviously going crazy on that overtime winner from Shamar Moses. But then, like you say, you go into Erie, a team that's just kind of hanging on to that last spot in the Western Conference. And as Coach Olhan said, they do deserve a ton of credit for staying in that game and kind of taking advantage of a late power play opportunity. And over the course of the season, you're just going to have those games where the opposing goaltender is just stopping every single thing you're firing at him. So for North Bay to come up and put up a 3-goal first period in Niagara the next night and ride that wave over the next 40 minutes pretty much was an excellent response from them.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at the schedule, like fatigue had to be part of the situation. They played 7 road games over the last 3 weekends. And the results are really good. They won in Kingston. They won in Peterborough. They got a point in Niagara a week ago, and then they got the big win on the weekend. In addition to the 2 home games, they got points in those home games too. So, yeah, I mean, I thought it was a great job by the team to be ready to play on Sunday. As the coach said, they got in there late, 1 a.m., and then they had to be ready to go. So, and that trip to Erie, that's a tough trip, because
it's a long trip.
It's a long trip for one reason, and you got to go over the border, and that takes time, and you got to go back over the border because you're staying in St. Catharines. So you got to give the team credit for really important points, especially the win on Sunday. One of their bigger wins of the year, I think, because they were ready to go, and they really outplayed Niagara.
Well, I think Noah Erliden, the goalie for Erie, he's a good goalie.
Yeah.
And North Bay should have got points from that game. They deserve points. Often the coach will say, we deserved a better fate. I think they deserve a road point, and they didn't get it. But looking back, like you said, I like the way they responded with a pretty good statement win over the Ice Dogs. And goaltending was really good in this last weekend. Both Mikey McIver and Jack Lisson are really supporting the turnaround of this team from a team that was a bit mediocre in October while they waited for their pro players to come back. Took a little while for the pro prospects to get going, and now they are starting to get going. And when I talk about the Christmas tree, the lights are coming on in the Christmas tree for this club, and it's looking really promising.
Yeah, from a goalie standpoint, I thought McIver was excellent in that game against Erie. He made 30 saves overall, and it felt like every single one of them was big, because the later the game got and the longer that game stayed tied, it really did feel like a next goal wins kind of situation, and it came down to that basically in those last 2 minutes.
Yeah, goaltending has been solid, and we know what Mike McIver can do, and he's been fighting it a little bit maybe, or just not quite the same guy. But some of those saves he made was vintage
Yeah.
Mike McIver.
Really were.
Good, and that's good too, right? When you have that inner competition within the team, guys want to get more ice time, and for goalies, I think it's great that they support each other. They want to get that net as often as they can, and when you've got two guys, whoever's in the net that day, he's going to play well. And then the other guy says, well, next time I'm in there, I have to play well, too, to keep that spot. So I think that's really good competition.
Absolutely. Let's dive a little deeper into the Niagara game. Bob, you asked Coach Olahan about the strong start, specifically in seeing the leaders of this team get right at it from the puck drop. So why don't we hear Coach Olahan and his comments on what he liked from those leaders on Sunday. Producer Gerald, can we get clip number 2, please?
But as far as the leadership group, I thought, it was a tough break on the call to the captain on Saturday night, but he came out ready to go. And the veterans, the leadership group, I thought, really led the way on Sunday.
No doubt. Yeah, when you start the game in the fashion that we did with your captain, just seemed to have an intent on Sunday, and he got the ball rolling. A great play on that entry, but it was really Ethan that was determined to, this is going to be a different outcome here today, and we're going to play differently, and that's what your leadership group needs to do. So, yeah, good on him, good on the leadership group in a whole, because they all showed up on the scoreboard and did a great job. And like I said, looking forward to Thursday night already at home here.
One of our guests tonight, Kaden, Pitre, an important part of that, being ready to go to really maybe help out the younger players, especially in a big game, and I thought they were really good there. Tough break for Ethan Procession. I know some people thought that wasn't a penalty late Saturday night.
Some people who write for Bay today?
Yes.
Yeah.
His initials are MS.
Yeah.
But they responded really well, and it was the captain who was ready to go and got the team going and didn't sort of get frustrated as a result of what happened at the end of Saturday night's game. So I thought it was really important, and that's how you can lead your team, just by example, saying, follow me, boys, I'll get us going, and just takes a little pressure off all the younger players.
Road Sundays haven't always been great for the Battalion,
No,
especially
you're right.
coming off a loss, but they turned it around. I like that. I like that mental toughness that they showed, that resilience to bounce back after a loss and really hand it to the Ice Dogs. Just from top to bottom, it looked really good.
Awesome. All right. We're going to take a short break. Make sure you check out the Battalion's social media channels to find out all the latest with Troops Trio. If you want to be a part of the show, you can send your comments and questions to us at troopstrio@battalionhockey.com. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. And after the break, Kaden Pitre and Alexander Karmanov join us on Troops Trio. This is the Sports Illustrated Tickets Battalion defining moment of the week. From big plays on the ice to the fans in the stands who make every game special, Sports Illustrated Tickets gets you closer to the moments that matter with seats to sports, concerts, and theater events around the globe. Visit sitickets.com or download the app today.
And Wellenreiter will bust it out through the middle, coming in, they score! Beautiful three-way passing play. Vaughn to Procession, and the captain opens the scoring.
Sports Illustrated Tickets, the official partner of the North Bay Battalion and the Troops Trio podcast. Welcome back. We want to thank Sports Illustrated Tickets and Happy Dad Beverages for bringing you this show, as well as our community sponsors, the City of North Bay, the Boat North Bay, the Fox and Fiddle, the Clubhouse at Gateway Golf, and the Moose Cookhouse, where we are live tonight. And make sure you check out the Battalion's social media channels to find out all the latest with the Troops Trio. And don't forget, you can send your comments and questions to us at troopstrio@battalionhockey.com. And we're so happy to have the two newest members of the Battalion on Troops Trio. We're joined by Alexander Karmanov and Kaden Pitre. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here tonight. So I'll start by asking you both. You have been in North Bay for a couple of weeks now. How are you getting used to being in the Gateway City?
Obviously, it's a big adjustment, but especially being in Flint, a lot of distance between here and Flint. So, no, it's been good. I'm very thankful and appreciative of everybody being so welcoming, and I'm sure Carmi feels the same.
Yeah, the team is great. All the guys really fun, and it's nice time spent here, and really good coaches, and it's fun time. So I like it.
The adjustment, you got to make the on-ice adjustment. You get new teammates, but there's also the off-ice adjustment, billets, that whole process. I notice you seem to, just a question for you, Kaden, you seem to fit right in, right? Like that first game, the trade was pretty sudden, and you had to meet the team on the road. I think it was in Peterborough for that start of that 3-game weekend, and you adjusted right well. What do you think it is about your game that fits in so seamlessly with the Battalion game?
Honestly, I think it was just Uli and the coaching staff. I think we did a lot of video at the start, which definitely helped me with the systems a lot. And then obviously, the captains and a lot of the older guys welcomed me when I first got here, so it definitely made it a lot easier than just jumping right into a game and not really knowing the guys. So I think that just helped, and then it was definitely easy to play with Ammo and Lerdo for the most part. I mean, in the first game we were clicking pretty well, so I was very appreciative of it.
And Alexander, obviously, we saw your first game. I think it was the following week. So, how's it going so far? Are you enjoying the OHL? What is sort of maybe the difference between where you were playing and now you're in the OHL? What have you noticed?
I think the speed it's much faster. Decisions, everyone is good here. Everyone know what they want from hockey, and everyone works hard. So it's much harder play here, but it's good for me. So I can be better every day, and this is my goal. And every game I'm learning something, learning everything from our coaches, from Bill Holder, for Ryan. So learning systems, and it's good for me. So I can be getting better every game, so every day.
Have you been able to figure out Bill Holder's sense of humor?
A little bit, yeah. Some jokes, yeah.
What are the things that Bill works with you on? Because I know he's spending a lot of time with you.
Yeah, sometimes it's just could be video, about team systems, how I have to play, some small details. Sometimes it could be after team practice we can get one-on-one, some skate, conditioning, or some defenseman stuff, and he giving these small to me advices, and it's really good for me.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. He has so much knowledge and 15 years of NHL experience. Talking about Bill Holder, and so it's really, I think it's good for you to be paired up with a guy like that who was very big for his time. He was a big man, even in the OHL was big, and so he can show you some things about how to angle guys off, and I guess the key thing is to try to not get penalties while you're doing that.
Yeah, I'm trying just to play hard and play my game, I would say, and because it's fourth game, so for now playing simple and doing what coach is telling me, and learning the systems every game. So after a couple games, after first, second game, I watched the video with Bill, and he explaining what I have to do, and I'm learning this and getting better.
I have to tell you, I've been broadcasting this since 2013. First time ever that a player got a cheer after his shift.
Before his shift, they cheered when he
went
stepped
off
onto
and
the
you got a
ice.
big cheer. So the fans here, North Bay loves you, Carmi. Now, did you call him Carmi? Is that we're going with Carmi?
That's his nickname, Carmi. Yeah.
Carmi. Okay, that's good. But it's we were just talking before we got on air about Vladimir, your grandfather, and Igor, your dad. They would say your last name is Karmanov or Karmanov.
So in Russian language, it's Karmanov, but for me, it doesn't really matter. In States, everyone started Karmanov, so it's also good. For me, it's.
But you said Karmanov, right?
Karmanov.
Yeah, I think North Bay. We want to be right. Right on point.
We want to get it right. That's it.
Because they're watching on Flow in Moldova.
That's right.
We have fans
really
in
are.
Moldova watching us. Vladimir and Igor are watching us there, so we want to be calling you Karmanov if that's the right thing.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Kaden, it's Pitre.
Yeah, not as much debate there.
No, not complicated.
Right on.
I got to ask you, Alexander, about how do you see yourself in terms of the type of player you are? Do you think yourself just as a defensive defenseman and an all-round defenseman? So I noticed you got a good shot. You're good at handling the puck in the offensive zone. So how do you see yourself in the game you're trying to develop here?
So for now, like, because I played just 4 games in OHL next level, for now I think I would say I need to play simple, like, and see what the systems our team what we're doing. But after, like, when I will have more experience, I could be like more with the puck and trying to make some plays. But it's a long way to being better, and it's time. So I'll develop and try and be better everywhere.
And Kaden, I got to ask you about just you've been in Flint for so long, and then you get traded, and what do you see as maybe the benefits of moving to another OHL city after being a key centerpiece of the Firebirds?
I mean, I think it's just a fresh start. I think that's what a lot of people are looking for when they ask for a trade, and I think that's just what I needed at the time. And I mean, obviously I had a good time in Flint, and I love the guys there and the coaching staff, and everybody treated me very well. But I think it was just a change that was needed, and I mean, I'm very thankful for where I ended up and how everybody's treated me here, and it's very similar to Flint, and they welcomed me very quickly, so I'm very thankful for that.
Kaden, is it just me or your buddy Carmi here when he's playing that the other team is dumping it into his corner, forcing you to play it? And would that be something that an opposing offense has in mind, to get a rookie defenseman, put the puck into his corner and force him to make a decision?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think that's definitely something that pretty much I think every forward in the OHL sort of looks at. Like, you rather go against a rookie defenseman than a veteran defenseman. So, I think, I mean, Carmi does a great job at sort of minimizing the risk and really just like proving the guys that are around him are like trying to do that to him wrong. And obviously he has a good supporting cast helping him with his D pairing and the other guys on the team. So, I think he handles it very well.
The team has basically been going 11-7 in terms of the amount of forwards on the ice and the amount of defensemen on the ice. How does the forward group look at that when they see the lineup, knowing that there's going to be some double shifting going on? And how do you just try to approach that game if it's different from the way you would approach it when there's 4 full lines out there?
Honestly, I think the guys are more excited, to be honest. I mean, you definitely get to have some more playing time, and like you said, like younger guys definitely probably relish in that fact where maybe they don't get as much ice time to start with. I would think the guys are pretty excited. I mean, I know the defense like to have a break sometimes, especially the guys who ended up playing like 25 plus minutes a night. So, I think it definitely, the forwards are definitely pretty excited about it.
But is it hard to do on back-to-back nights, or is it just, here we go again?
I think it depends. When you have the road trip like Erie, where you played like 18 hours later at 2 o'clock the next day, I think it definitely makes it a little bit harder. But, I mean, at the same time, like, you love the game, you love to play. So I think you sort of get that second gust of wind and just find a way to get through it.
And what's it like for the D when, if you have 7D out there, you don't know, your defense partner may change, right, in terms of who you're playing with on a particular shift. So as the game moves along, so what's it like when you're playing with different partners?
So yeah, it's a little bit different, but it doesn't matter. Like, everyone is good guys. Our all defensemen are great guys and great players. So for me, it doesn't matter with who I'm playing. It's just to need to play well, and it's everyone is good in our team. So yeah.
Kaden, are you a multi-sport athlete?
Yeah, I mean, probably like most hockey players, we sort of played everything growing up. So
Yeah. So what is your number 2?
I played lacrosse for a long time. I don't know. That was the really only rep sport I played. And then I think by the time I was 12, my dad was like, all right, either lacrosse or hockey. And I was like, I guess I'm going hockey.
But it's interesting.
I guess.
Carmi, do you know what lacrosse is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. I saw like from my last year guys from Academy, everyone like when I think season starts at March or something, and everyone was going to lacrosse after practice or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's their culture.
It's
Kinda.
interesting. So many hockey players, elite hockey players, have done lacrosse. And what do you think the crossover is? The benefit of having those lacrosse skills in hockey?
Honestly, I think a lot of guys do it just to help with cardio. Like you stay running in the summer, you're really sort of doing the same kind of movement. And I think you're also allowed to hit a lot younger, I think, in lacrosse than you are hockey. So I think it starts to help with the contact a little bit when you're growing up and getting towards your goal of like playing at a higher level. So I think honestly that's probably the main reason why. And then, I mean, obviously lacrosse is a pretty big sport in Canada, so I think that also helps.
The growing up, getting into hockey, was there, and both of you guys can answer this, was there a person or another player you sort of modeled your interest in the game after? Like who you wanted to be like? Was there an NHL player that you say, you know, I like that guy's game, I'm going to try and play like him? Or was it a parent?
For me, I don't know. Like I was just working hard. Like last year, I would say I could like watch. Actually, last year, especially last 3 months, I'm watching Nikita Zadorov. How he playing? Like he's like it's kind of what should they, how should they play? Maybe like how he's playing. He's also big and big, strong defenseman, playing hard, playing physical, moving the puck, playing what he have to do. Also, I think Chris Pronger, I saw how like his highlights and he was great defenseman. So these guys, I think they was big and played really well, got really great career, and yeah, I'm kind of watching them.
And what about you?
I think for me, it was my dad originally got me into hockey, and then I had my brother growing up, obviously, that I looked up to. And he's obviously been pretty successful in his career so far. So, and then obviously, I think it's just like guys like Crosby. I mean, pretty much it's pretty standard answer, I think, across
Every
the
week
board.
I hear Crosby.
Yeah, it's
Finally got a Flyers legend, though. Chris Pronger, right?
That's right. Happy about that.
yeah, no. So I think it's pretty standard. I mean, my dad always talks to me about Wayne Gretzky, and you sort of look up to that too, and the records and stuff he did. So, Alex Ovechkin, another one you look up to. I mean, obviously he's doing a lot right now, so sort of a player that you kind of want to be like.
Absolutely. And
Yeah, I was just going to say, your line mates are over there watching, supporting you. Larado's over there, Ammo's over there. What is the identity of your line? How do you guys want to be viewed around the league?
You know, we were just talking about that before this interview. No, we actually had a meeting with Wooly the other day about it, and we always make the joke before the game, but we're being serious at the same time. Is Ammo always has to play in straight lines. I think that's where he succeeds most. And Wooly made the joke that Larado can't be like me. He just has to be the guy that we know what he's going to do every single game. And then I got to be down low and sort of making plays and find them. And I mean, obviously they're very good players in their own right. And I think it's just really helped find my game as well on the more offensive side of it. And I think we're really just like scratching the surface with what we can do offensively.
that's awesome. So lots to come in the second half of the season that I think your teammates appreciated that answer. All right, everyone, that's Alexander Karmanov and Kaden Pitre. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Troops Trio. Pleasure to have you guys.
We appreciate it.
We want to thank Sports Illustrated Tickets and Happy Dad Beverages for bringing you this show, as well as our community sponsors, the City of North Bay, the Boat North Bay, the Fox and Fiddle, the Clubhouse at Gateway Golf, and the Moose Cookhouse, where we are live tonight. And we would love for you to join us at our next taping in the new year. These live events are always a blast. You get to support a local restaurant. You get a chance to meet the players. You have a chance to win some prizes that you can only win if you're here at the restaurant. And speaking of prizes, we'll go into our Troops Trio trivia question. Use the hashtag Troops Trio in the comments section, and the first correct answer will win a signed puck from both our guests tonight, Alexander Karmanov and Kaden Pitre. This week's question is, how many teddy bears were tossed onto the ice during last season's teddy bear toss? Last week's question was, name the Troops player who scored back-to-back teddy bear toss goals, and the answer was former captain Brandon Coe. Nicholas Forsyth was the winner of last week's question. So thanks for participating as always, Nicholas. So again, this week's question was, how many of these guys, how many teddy bears were tossed on the ice during last season's teddy bear toss? Answer that question in the comments to win a signed puck from Alexander Karmanov and Kaden Pitre. All right, everyone. AJ is here. AJ Jakeman, everybody.
Gentlemen. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
It's always
You
like
as
a
well.
golf clap when AJ shows up.
Well, you know, it's getting better.
You got some fans out there tonight.
It's all because of my Coachiko interviews now. I'm like a superstar.
Yeah, the big Tuesday night feature.
Tuesdays, yes. I love your sweaters. Those are awesome.
Thank you. Very nicely designed this year. So this is what they will be wearing on Teddy Bear Toss Night?
That is correct. So on Thursday night, they'll be wearing them, well, for warm-ups anyways. You can bid on Dash Auctions. The QR code is on the screen. I know that Alexander's, his went right away. You can actually,
so you can just
you
buy
can outright
straight
outbid
out.
it. Somebody paid $750.
That's amazing.
It was on sale for maybe a minute. That was it.
amazing.
It got launched and it was gone. So, yeah, I think they're great.
So don't waste any time. Get on Dash
No,
Auction
exactly.
and go bid for your favorite player right now.
How does that work? You can just buy now?
Yeah, so you can place a bid or outright buy it, and I think the outright bid for these ones are $750, and someone had done that. So yeah, they wanted it real bad. And you know what?
But he's still going to wear it during the warm-up, right?
Yes, you wear it to warm up. Yes, exactly. And you know what the
Takes
nice
it off after warm up. And
That explains why Carmi is wearing Moses' jersey.
Well, what?
Because his jersey is gone.
Well, nobody was supposed to know that.
Well,
Nobody was supposed to know that he didn't have that on.
that's the kind of
No.
guy Shamar Moses is. He'll give the shirt right off his back.
That's exactly. You know what the nice things about these though is these are technically they are one of a kind. We only have so many, so each player has one, and then like that's it. So if you own one, you'll be one of 25 sweaters. So because next year when we do this again, obviously they'll be different, different players or what have you. So for a collector's item, especially with Christmas around the corner, you need to get on the dash right now to grab one of these for sure.
Absolutely. And then, again, it's for Teddy Bear Toss Night, which is an important night.
That's right. So Thursday, Guelph is in town. Teddy Bear Toss, so bring a bear in. And then for people that don't realize what Teddy Bear Toss is, it's an actual charity event where we're actually trying to collect stuffed animals, with it being Christmas. And we give you make it easy for you. The brick will be there. They have 500 bears for sale right in the front lobby, so you don't even have to go anywhere to show up to the game and get your bear. And then everybody, once we score that first goal, the way you donate is you throw the bear on the ice. So it's actually a cool promo. We love doing it every year. The players love doing it. When you ask them who's going to score, they all smile and they get enthusiastic about it. Now, since we're talking about that, Matt, let's talk about it. Who's scoring the big goal Thursday?
I'm going to go with Kaden Pitre.
Kaden Pitre, nice.
You're just sucking up to the
I know,
guys.
he's,
A little bit.
he's just sitting here.
Over there.
Shameless.
Shameless plug. I used to
Ranjan,
work
what
in
are you
radio.
thinking?
I know all about the shameless plug.
I'm going with the Manzo.
Oh,
And it's
Manzo.
going to be at the point, steps in, and lets it fly.
Bob, who are you thinking?
Jonathan Capogeritis to
There you
score
go.
in the teddy bear goal. So I get to say Jonathan Cabajaritis.
They didn't say it that way on the Erie broadcast.
No, they
they
didn't.
did not.
Oh, did they really butcher it or what?
The G was a little soft.
Caparitis?
Grr.
Oh.
Cabajaritis.
Capagaritis or something.
No, how did I was asking how they said it on the broadcast.
He has hit Reedus in his last
Not
name.
even.
Cabajaritis.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Just a bit outside.
Good try. Also, you know what though? On Teddy Bear Toss Night, Santa Claus will be there.
You didn't give us a name.
I was trying to get out of that one.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Today on Coach Ago, I said, Jack, listen.
Really?
Yeah, Clark just kind of looked at me. I said, you never know. You know, let's go with the wild thing, Parker Vaughn.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
what I
He's
was
been
gonna
hot lately, actually. 2 goals in the
That's what I mean. He's been on fire the last
Brampton
few.
game.
So.
And
There was a goalie goal in the AHL this week.
Was there?
Yeah, Calgary's.
probably wasn't the first goal of the game, though.
Abbott's.
Well, that's what I
Right,
mean.
that's-
Like,
That would be something.
Yeah.
That would be something.
You know, there is a player on the Battalion who hasn't scored a goal this year yet.
who's that?
Hasn't scored his first OHL goal.
That's Bobby Greer?
No. Kudapaski.
Oh, really?
Wouldn't that be
Carter.
first OHL goal, and it's the Teddy Bear
And it's the
goal?
Teddy Bear
Maybe
toss
that'll
goal.
happen.
Maybe
He's
that'll
got 1
happen.
assist. He's a -2. All those games he's played, a 16-year-old defenseman, just a -2. Very responsible in the defensive zone, focusing on big
impressive.
hits, and we've seen some big end-right like hits from Kunapaski. Love that guy.
That is impressive. You said there was going to be a special guest
so
on Thursday.
special guest Thursday. Santa Claus is going to be there with Mrs. Claus. They're going to be doing a photo shoot in the North Concourse. So as soon as the doors open at 6, you can see come meet Santa Claus, Sarge. Christmas fun.
Awesome. And then a couple things after the break, too.
Well, then the guys are off for 10 days and then back on the 28th. 2 o'clock, it's a Sunday game. We take on the Barrie Colts. Sundays are always great, especially for the kids. We got the McDonald's Battalion Kids Club. Go see us in the North Concourse. You can sign up at battalionhockey.com, and Owen has lots of stuff for the kids to do that are extra and stuff that you would normally do at a hockey game. And then, of course, we've got our annual New Year's Eve game. Kitchener Rangers. I love Kitchener's comes to town. We'd only see them once a year. I love their sweaters. They're nice and they're pretty classic when you see them, right? Game time, though, make sure everyone puts us down on the calendar. It's 1 o'clock, not 2. So if you show up at 2, you'll be there for first intermission. So I think that's all I got. I'm just going to look at my notes here. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Awesome. So lots going on before the break, lots going on after the break. AJ, thanks so much for joining us.
Gentlemen, have a good Christmas, and we'll see you in the new year.
Okay, we'll see
Happy
you.
holidays to
Happy
you.
holidays. Thanks, buddy. AJ, everybody. We're going to take a quick break. AJ will mingle with the folks out there, and when we return, Bob has coffee with the coach, and we'll hear from former North Bay Centennial Rob Davison right here on Troops Trio.
The OHL has also shown incredible support of Ontario's minor hockey system. Events such as the OHL Combine, the OHL Cup, U14 OHL Cup, and the OHL Gold Cup are marquee events in a minor hockey player's career. The Ontario Hockey League is proud to demonstrate its leadership and commitment to development of the young men and communities it serves.
My OHL is where people can speak up because it's all about communication. And at the end of the day, it's just so important that lines of communication are open. An environment is fostered and one that players and staff feel as though, they're supported and that should they have any concerns, there's a very clear process in terms of, how to bring them forward.
What a
Welcome back. We want to thank Sports Illustrated Tickets and Happy Dad Beverages for bringing you this show, as well as our community sponsors, the City of North Bay, the Boat North Bay, the Fox and Fiddle, the Clubhouse at Gateway Golf, and the Moose Cookhouse, where we are live tonight. We thank them for letting us take over the restaurant for a little while. Make sure you check out the Battalion social media channels to find out all the latest with Troops Trio. And the Battalion have one more game on tap before they hit the holiday break. Bob, you had a chance to catch up with head coach Ryan Olahan to reflect on the first half of the season. Kind of surprising that we're already here at the halfway point.
Amazing, isn't it? Game number 33 will be Thursday night against the Gulf Storm. Yeah, so producer Gerald, let's hear what coach has to say about the first half.
How do you feel about the team in the first half? You've had some injuries to deal with. You're in good position. You're still within striking distance of Barrie at the top of the division. I think you're tied with Peterborough going into this week for that important home advantage spot in round one. So comment on how you think the team performed overall in the first half.
It's been some adversity already with our team. I mean, you just look at the injuries that we've had. That's been a battle kind of getting through that. We're near some of those guys starting to come back. We got Pronin back here on the weekend, and once we get into the break, I think we'll see a couple healthier guys coming out of that into our lineup. We're thrilled for that. And then you just look at, the home and the away in balance. We certainly have an advantage going into the second half with a lot of home games, which is pretty traditional for us, and we feel pretty good about it. So I always think it's good for me to process, where the challenges are going to be in the season. I do this right when the schedule comes out. So, you could ask me in July and August where the tough stretch was going to be. It was going to be these 3 weeks that just happened. For us to get through it in the fashion that we did, not even looking at, there's some games we like to play better in that, but when you go as a whole and, okay, would you just fast forward if I told you we're going to go, 5-3-1? Through those first 3 weekends or those last 3 weekends, you'd fast forward time for sure. So we're happy about that. There's a lot of growth with this team that I think can still happen. There's a lot of areas in our game that I think can improve and get better and shore up. And I like the group. I really do. We got a lot of talent. We got a really good mix, good veterans, solid core, some young guys that are super high end and able to contribute to our lineup. So I think there's some exciting things that are going to happen with this group here in the second half.
Yeah, I agree with what Coach is saying that, the tough part of the year, they've had several long road trips. I think four long road trips. Injuries have played a big part of the story. Their depth guys, I think, have started to show some promise. And there's a lot of positives. The goaltending right now is really a lot of depth there too as well. A lot of depth on the back end. You got 8 defensemen who are playing, and they've been cut short a little by up front with the injuries they've had. But I think it's been a positive first half. They're playing for home ice right now at this point, tied with Peterborough in the standings. And they're close enough to Barrie to make it interesting in the second half to get that number 2 seed for the start of the playoffs. So, and I think once these guys who have been hurt get back in the lineup, I think there will be more positive signs for a strong second half.
And Ranj, I really think they are taking a step in the right direction. I mean, on October 30th, they lost to Sault Ste. Marie that night 4-1, and that put them at a 7-8 record. And now, going into this game against Guelph, they're 17-3-2-0, so 10-5-2 over basically the month of November and the first little bit of December. And I do think that is indicative of what head coach Ryan Olahan was just saying, is that this team is really starting to take those steps forward, and they got a really good jumping off point right now for the second half.
Right, you are. I think it's going to be really good to see what John Winstanley does at the trade deadline. I know we might talk about that in a bit. It's always an anxious time for players, the trade deadline, because you've got your friends, you've got your billets, you got your relationships, but it could be just a matter of the hockey business that could change in a minute. Now, we already saw them make a trade. Iggy Posse and Caden Pitre, our guest, came over. And so Adam has this knack of Adam and John have this knack of making moves that really improve the team. And we'll have to see what transpires. But, like you said, the second half will be home heavy. And so it's really an opportunity for the 16-year-olds who have had a taste of OHL action, get acclimatized. The Euros have a taste for OHL action, 3 months under their belt. They're acclimatized, so I think you hit the ground running starting Thursday with the Guelph game, because I consider, even though it's only game 33, I consider we're in the back half of the season. We're looking at playoffs seedings right now.
And Bob, you had one more thing to chat with head coach Ryan Olahan about. Why don't you tease that up?
I also asked him about what's he doing over Christmas. Always want to know what the coach is doing. And producer Gerald, what's the coach doing over Christmas?
Okay, get a break after Thursday night, about 10 days. How are you spending the holidays?
Well, we play on Thursday. I'll be jumping on another bus Friday morning, believe it or not, with my son's team. So they got 3 games down south. Their team has taken a bus, so it'll be nice for me to be a parent and not a coach during that trip. I'll be able to have a lot of fun with the parent group and the families and everybody on there. And then after that, we've been really busy, and my family's been extremely busy here in the last 2 months too. So it's going to be a lot of just resting up, recovering, family time around the Christmas tree here, and then just enjoying each other, lots of good food. Hopefully Santa Claus comes, and that will be Christmas break for us.
Well, thanks for these interviews. We love doing them on Troops Trio, and have a great holiday, and we'll see you after Christmas.
Great. Thanks, Bob, and Merry Christmas.
I think Santa Claus might show up at the Olahan house.
I think Coach Olahan's on the nice list.
Yeah,
not the
naughty list. That's for sure.
He didn't talk about any prep for the games in the new year.
No, he didn't.
He didn't talk about the Barrie game, and I'm sure a coach's brain can never rest. He is thinking about that game, even though it's going to be in family mode. But while he's carving that turkey on Christmas Day, he's going to be thinking about the Barrie Colts. I'm certain of it.
Absolutely. All right, AJ's back because we omitted something in the last segment.
We got sidetracked. We forgot the
Sure did.
fan question of the week, and it's an important one.
And
Who's
again,
it from?
It's from Ralph from Chisholm.
thank you for tuning in to Troops Trio, Ralph.
Now, what Ralph wanted to know, it's the end of 2025. Do you think the Battalion will be buyers or sellers in January?
I don't think they'll be either. I think they're going to be more of a stand-pat group. They want to see how these young guys are going to give them increased responsibility. This will be their first, effort down the stretch. In big games, the games take on added importance, as you were just saying, down the stretch in the second half of the year. And this will be the first opportunity for a lot of them. So I think they want to. There may be some small changes, but I think overall they're gonna go with this group. And
Hey, Matt.
It's a young team.
Look at Ranjan's ready to go. Watch. Here we go.
I think they're going to complete teardown. No, I'm.
They're all going to get 15 games, right?
No, they are. I believe if I was GM, if I was the assistant to the traveling secretary.
So the guy that goes to Tim Hortons every Monday for everyone.
Right. If that was my role, I would be bringing players in that are going to help us next year, and to bolster this team for next year when we are going to be in Guelph at the Memorial Cup.
There you go. Strong words from Ranjan. Yeah, I think it'll be a soft buy. I think if there are players available, that's not going to cost you anyone like Ranstad that is going to be a big contributor next year. You could probably make a deal for it. It might just be a couple deals where you're trading off some draft picks to try and raise the floor a little bit, especially because going into this week, the Battalion are tied with the Peterborough Petes in terms of points in the Eastern Conference standing, and they have a chance to get at least home ice advantage in at least the first round And that's not something you can ever just throw away. So even if you don't think you're going to be able to get past a team like the Bulldogs or like Barrie, you certainly want to at least beef up the roster to make those playoff series competitive. And once you get there, anything can happen. And you'd rather get into that situation where at least you've made the moves to try to beat them, as opposed to just sitting back and saying, what happens, happens.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to say we're not going to make any trades. But, I mean, if there's a deal out there in which the team has improved a large amount, I think they might make a trade. But I think they want to see what happens with this group over the next 3 months. And that could bode well for what changes they may have to make for next season. But the signs are all good right now. They're in fourth place. They're going to get their guys back, and they're going to be going with those guys, I think.
Go ahead.
Just let me say, you have to make a calculated decision to know if Pro is coming back next year or Moses is coming back, where they're going to be playing next year, because they would be eligible to overage players, Wellenreiter, for that reason. You have to know. You have to have those can't be variables. You have to know the answer to those questions. And we saw last year, as a complete surprise to almost everybody, that Wyatt Kennedy got dealt at the trade deadline. Now, we got a good return for Wyatt Kennedy, but no one expected that, because the understanding was he was going to be at university hockey the following year. So they expected him to come back to be an overager, but that didn't seem like it was going to happen. So those kind of deals have to happen, but they have to have interviews with each of the players, say, what do you think you're going to be doing next year? And if the player is going to be gone, then you have to make moves. I think you can't stand pat.
And players have lots of choices nowadays too, right?
Yeah.
With NCAA. So, yeah, things can change real quick.
I was going to say, normally during that week off, I'll put out an article on Beta Day that kind of looks at the trade market and sees what's kind of available. A couple years ago, I will toot my own horn here, I did predict that the Battalion would be in the market for Andrew and Jacob LeBlanc, and that ended up happening. This year might be a little bit harder of a deep dive to see what's available out in the market, because I do think they're going to be in a soft buyer's mode. But we'll see what happens.
What little bird told you about the LeBlanc?
I just read the market. I really did. I looked at the teams that might have been selling, looked at what the Battalion needed. At the time, they needed a defenseman, and they needed a little bit of firepower up front. And there were rumors that the Twins might have been available.
I was going to ask, Ammo, did you guys hook up with the LeBlancs when you went to Erie?
They did. In Niagara.
Because they finished their semester. All right, that is so cool that they hooked up with the LeBlancs in Niagara, where they're from.
That's right. All right.
Does your before we go anyway, does your little bird know any information of Bo Bichette yet?
Check out jaysjournal.com for more information.
Shameless plug.
All right, AJ, thanks so much for jumping back on. Really appreciate it. Before we go, we've got to check in with the associate coach of the Guelph Storm, who is also a former member of the North Bay Centennials. He was drafted by the San Jose Sharks in 1998. Bob, you had a chance to catch up with Rob Davison. So, producer Gerald, let's hear that interview now.
Next on Troops Trio, Rob Davison, assistant coach of the Guelph Storm. And Rob, you're coming to North Bay. The Storm are on Thursday night. What's it like for you coming back to North Bay? You played a lot of junior hockey here in your distant past.
I did. Full 3 years, through full 3 seasons. Really memorable. Enjoyed it. Got drafted there. Got drafted to the NHL coming out of North Bay. Had a couple of good playoff series against Barrie over the years. And I really enjoyed my time there, and it's exciting to come back.
Thursday night, second meeting this year. Battalion beat you 5-2 as well. What did you pick up from the Battalion in that game?
Hardworking team, well structured, and we don't see the Eastern teams very often. So it's always a different it's a different style of play, and one we're going to adjust to coming in on Thursday, and hopefully give the fans a good showing and hopefully for us, we come out with a W.
Your team now, what have you picked up from that team? You picked up your play, I think, in the last few weeks. It's a tough route in the West, obviously, several good teams, but maybe just an introduction to Guelph for the fans who are going to be at Thursday night game.
So the biggest thing is with our team is we're still trying to find our way through. We're a younger team. We have some very experienced players in our lineup, but we also have a lot of inexperience. So consistency over the past year has probably been our biggest challenge. And we do work hard. We have a lot of young, enthusiastic players. But a lot of times it's getting everyone on the same, pulling on the same rope, getting in the work in the same direction. So I think consistency for us has been our biggest challenge. But I know the guys are excited to come up north. And we're going into the Christmas break, so I think you're going to see a really energetic group, really pushing the pace and playing fast.
You can't go to Brantford. How have you dealt with that in terms of filling the void here? You must have left because obviously one of your top players over several seasons. How have you dealt with that?
Well, for us, losing Jet was a big piece for sure, but it did give our younger players a real opportunity to kind of step into different roles and excuse me, really take hold of forming their own identity as a player. And whether it be on the power play, whether it be the penalty kill, Jet played a lot of minutes for us, but we've had a number of players be able to step into their own roles, really, own more ice time. And I think we've had a good development period here where the younger players have really taken hold of an opportunity they've been given. Really well. The guys, the team's really excited. The organization's really excited. I think there was a lot of uncertainty around that time when the decision was going to be made. Of course, there's going to be player movement when decisions like that is decided upon. And I think the team, as far as like the older players, are like, will I be here next year? Will I be moving out? Will I be going on a playoff run this year? Or will I be building upon something for next year? And I think as far as the fans go, it's been really well received. Really, everyone's really excited about the opportunity. And I know a lot of our younger players are thinking, this will be an opportunity for, good exposure, but also to help build the team for next year and really build something together.
It's going to take to win the game on Thursday night for your.
For us to take the team to pick up a couple points up in North Bay will be well structured. Our team will have to play together. Again, like I said, the biggest thing for us has been consistency. And if we do have 4 lines and 6 defensemen and a goalie playing well together as a unit of 5 on the ice, for Guelph, I'm hoping we come out with the 2 points and head up to Sudbury, at least with a split on the weekend. So
safe travels, and we'll see you here Thursday night.
I appreciate it. Thanks. Looking forward to seeing you.
Rob Davidson earlier today, and of course, it was a lifetime ago. Rob played in North Bay, but he was a tough defensive defenseman. Moved on to the NHL, played in San Jose for 3 seasons, I think. He's well remembered here by some of the longtime hockey fans, and it's always great to chat with him. And but it'll be interesting Thursday night. Guelph, they'll be getting the Memorial Cup next year. Right now, they're 7th in the West. Battalion beat them 5-2 earlier this season. So, and it had a little nasty edge to that game. Don't know why, but it just did. It seemed certain games. It started that way, and it continued, and it was an entertaining game. So it'll be interesting Thursday night what kind of game we get against Guelph.
Guelph comes into this game, I believe, 3 losses in a row. They're a good team, and Charlie Paquette is back as the overager, and he always seems to have a good game at Memorial Gardens, so he'll be a guy that you want to key in on. They've got a goaltending. I don't know if Jovanovski will be playing on Thursday or they're going to save him for Friday in Sudbury because they've got the 2-game Northern Road swing, but he is the highest rated OHL goalie for the upcoming NHL draft. He's a B-rated prospect, and so we've seen these goalies come in. They're highly touted and they put on a show at the Garden, so we got to be focused on offense if we're going to get those teddy bears flying, because we got to score. If it doesn't happen, and I'm not jinxing anything, but there's like a thing that we do, it's like the beginning of the second intermission, you just throw them anyway, or
during the first stoppage of play in the third period.
Yeah, that's right.
If there's no goal.
But I think it went awry.
I don't want to talk about that.
It went awry in the past.
It has. When I used to travel with the Battalion, there were a couple times. I think Niagara.
In the low-scoring Stan Butler days, there was a situation where we had to throw the Bears, but everyone threw them when they wanted to. It wasn't on any. There was no system. They just started going.
I believe we were doing a game in Niagara, and Battalion were shutting out the Ice Dogs. So in the third period, and they were shutting them out. It was like 4-0 by the third period. And so then the guy comes on the PA and goes, "Okay, fans, let's throw those teddy bears." It's kind of depressing at that point.
It's going to have a script ready for this eventuality.
I just hope it's not a goal that's under review.
Everyone,
that happened.
Bring those teddy bears back.
That happened last year in Brantford, and it almost happened again when the Battalion were in this year in Brantford, because what happened was they weren't sure whether the puck crossed the line, and so fans were hesitant to throw the bears, so they went and reviewed it, and then they were allowed to throw the bears. So there was like a 10-minute delay. So let's hope it's a good goal. You can see it from far, and then throw those bears. And I don't want to talk about what he just said.
The thing about Guelph is they have traded Jet Luchenko away, right? And so they're
a lot of youth.
Yeah, they're a team that decided to be sellers. And I'm just trying to figure out, I mean, he's not coming back next year. Obviously, he's with your team, isn't he, Philadelphia?
About a 2% chance.
2% chance. Although they could situate him, well, they can't now. But if you're going for the Memorial Cup, you think that the parent team, if they didn't want him in the American Hockey League, could say...
They would send him back,
Yeah, maybe. Guaranteed a spot, but that's water under the bridge. He's gone.
Yeah,
he's gone, and they're saying, there a lot of young players are getting the opportunity to, and now that he's gone. So, Guelph's trying to find their way, and next year will be interesting in Guelph just because they're hosting the Memorial Cup. Who's staying around after this season? Who's moving on? Who are they going to get? Guelph will be an interesting story to follow over the next year.
That's the interesting thing about today's OHL is it's every off season you're basically going shopping at Player Mart in the United States, or the USHL, or the North American Hockey League, and you're seeing what you can find, or even players in NCAA who aren't liking their ice time want to come back to the OHL.
Yeah.
So rosters can change dramatically, and there was a dramatic change in almost every roster this past summer. So all these things remain to be seen.
Absolutely.
It's harder than ever, I think, to be an OHL GM.
Yeah, no kidding. Glad it's not one of our jobs, that's for sure. All right, that's going to wrap up today's show. We want to thank Sports Illustrated Tickets and Happy Dad Beverages for bringing you this show, as well as our community sponsors, the City of North Bay, the Boat North Bay, the Fox and Fiddle, the Clubhouse at Gateway Golf, and a huge thank you to the Moose Cookhouse for hosting us tonight. Make sure you check out the Battalion's social media channels to find out where Troops Trio will be next. And don't forget, you can send your comments and questions to troopstrio@battalionhockey.com. We thank Kaden, Pitre, and Alexander Karmanov, Ryan Olhan, and Rob Davison for taking the time out to join us. We have to thank our camera operators, Cassidy and Marley, Kaden for doing our behind-the-scenes footage. We thank Jacob for also helping out tonight. Welcome back, Jacob. We're glad you're feeling better. We thank our show coordinator, Owen, producer, Gerald, our hype man, AJ Jakeman, and executive producer, Steve Batanti. And Sarge, we thank Sarge for being here tonight, too. For Bob Coles and Ranjan Rupal, I'm Matthew Sookram. This has been Troops Trio.